These boards that I cut are for the skirts and for the baseboard for the bed. A couple of weeks ago I managed to get the pieces down out of my workshop here. A bit more space. And they fitted okay, they fitted quite well. And I took a few sketches, sizes and stuff, of this part where it meets this rail that goes across. You see the headboard there. What I'm going to do, I'll draw it on here, but there's the rail of the bed and then the headboard. What I'm going to do is create a sort of L-shape skirt that sits on top like that. This corner joint needs to be quite strong. I was just going to mitre it, you know, just run it through saw and mitre it and put some biscuits along it. I don't want to, you know, join it like that, because then you see this end grain here. I want a nice flow around without that. So I'm going to change my cutter. This is good. Automatically locks as you lift it up. But I have, there's a small one that I used before. I have this one. The size of that. There's a monster in it. That'll do this 18mm board. I'm going to do this sort of joint on it. And these joints, if that'll stand up, if you mark a centre line, I can't do it. See if I can do it on here. If you mark a centre line, it's that point there. That cut there, it's about the centre of that. But I've got some offcuts here anyway to set it all up. double lock on this again. So I just need to take this insert out. Like I was saying, this locks automatically as you raise it. See the pin there? So if I turn that a little bit, just out of the way, and then I raise it up. I think I'll have to take that big insert out as well. Yeah. So on my piece of wood, I draw a centre line. So middle of those two lines is pretty much centre. I need to rebuild this whole thing. There's a couple of screws that have gone in, so these don't slide anymore. I did put them on sliders, don't know if you can see. So they do slide in and out, but they're at the maximum now. And it looks like this cutter might oh, look at that. Bit of plastic there, so I'm just going to turn it on, pull the fence forward. Hitting the plastic there, look. Don't care. Right, lots of dust, lots of trials, trimming off the ends of some just so I can reuse them, but I've finally got one that I'm sort of happy with. I'll push that together. It's hard to show, let me put this camera down. It's hard to show, and there's a shadow. Let's see if I can get it lined up a bit better. But when that pushes together, oh, it's a bit snug. Once it clamps up, any little gap should close up a little bit. You see the geometry is there. If I draw a pencil line, something like centre. You see what I mean? It's sort of in the middle of that cut there. But you can see the amount of tests that I had to do. I just push up. See, at that point it's quite good. I can't push it together there. I think the clamp will do that. And anyway, I'll put some filler in it. It's going to get rounded over a bit. Right, I'm going to go for it with them. I'll just cut this piece down. I ain't done anything with it. So I'll just put some pencil marks and I'm going to put this on the shelf. Keep it for later. MDF will change shape, but it'll give me a good starting point. Got a little flat on the edge there. That's probably why See there, little tiny flat. Like I say, I'm going to be rounding this over anyway. But what happens is, as that goes through, if you've got a little, if you take this right to a point, what you end up with is a little gap there. So what you end up with is it wanting to drop into that gap. If you keep just a little tiny flat on the edge as you go through, this is touching like that. You know, it flows through easier, and then when you get to the end, you don't get like a drop off. And that little bit sands off anyway. For a bit of sand that flat anyway. Excellent. Excellent. That'll all pull up, but that went in very well. As you saw, I put it through twice because the MDF does feather up just a little bit, and I think that's what was making it go together so tight. Right, hopefully that'll go together just as well. Cool. Like I say, that little gap will come together when it's properly square on. And clamped up. You can see from the amount of dust that I make why all my junk's covered in crap. Cupboards, and I'm definitely gonna hook up the extractor there. Anyway, I'll get some glue on these, get them clamped together. I think I'm going to do them in pairs, so this edge will be pushing up against the other one. And I've numbered that one because I know it goes together well, so I'll number this one. I'm just going to glue these together. I'm going to put the joint in the middle so that it's pressed all the way along by its opposing piece. My concern was if these had a very slight bow in them, then they wouldn't press in the middle, but I put them together like that. They're very parallel. So as this presses together, it should, press all the way around. Otherwise I'd turn them around and put the upstand on the outside. Then I can get pressure all the way along, maybe put some more clamps. I've got a couple more there, and get some others in if I needed to. But this way, I can just press it together in the middle. One of these strips, I'm going to put a bit of this on, I think. Maybe masking tape. Masking tape might come off easier. This stuff's a bit sticky. But I might put a strip of masking tape on one of them so it doesn't stick to the other. Right, lots of clamps. If you're just using like 5, you'd put 3 underneath and then a couple on top. Stops it bouncing up. I don't think this is, maybe a little bit, but it don't matter. If anything, it'll push that very point together. But I'll leave that overnight. I'm not going to clean this off. Just wiped it off with my finger.